After Avengers 4, Thor began to let loose in a cave. The Rockman, Kord, told the tragic life of Thor in a relaxed tone. The first half of Thor's life was happy. As the son of Odin, the king of the gods, Thor was still a little kid when his mother took him to the battlefield as a warrior. Slowly, Thor grew from a little kid into a strong and charismatic hammer brother. Later, the hammer brother talked about girlfriend after girlfriend, regardless of race or species. There was a pirate and even a wolf that looked like a woman, but the one he couldn't forget was Jane, an astronomer on Earth. Unfortunately, Jane dumped Hammer with a handwritten letter, and then Hammer's mother died. His father turned to dust. His friends left him one after the other. He experienced the destruction of Asgard. He watched his brother and Heimdall die, and half the universe was destroyed by Thanos with a snap of his fingers. Thor blamed himself for missing his axe. Since then, he has become an incoherent fatty. In just 5 years, he has gone from a muscular hunk to a flabby man. But fortunately, with the company of his silver-haired buddy, Hammer finally got straightened up and started working out like crazy. But the skinny Hammer still has a hint of oiliness to him, and he hasn't found his old self again. He's tired of the old days of war. He buried the storm axe in the ground and sat under a tree every day, thinking about life. It wasn't until someone needed him that he pulled the storm axe out of the ground, mounted the storm broom and charged into the fray. The battlefield was filled with smoke and dust. The gods of this planet were killed by mysterious people, the temple was occupied by long-haired monsters, and the king hired the guardians of the galaxy to resist the invaders and retake the temple. After delivering a passionate speech standing on a rock, Hammer Girl took off his sack, took his storm axe, and switched to the mowing mode. Hammer Girl swaggered all the way, killing the enemies that came at him one after the other, the group of furry monsters, but it didn't cause Hammer any harm at all. The Star Force's encouraging looks at Hammer made him use his final lightning strike too hard. As the battle ended, the temple collapsed with a loud noise. The king was full of embarrassment, but the battle was won after all. To repay Hammer, the king gave a group of people 2 giant goats as a reward. These 2 goats, one called Rockshaker and the other called Hammer, are the 2 goats in Norse mythology that gave Sif her brass car. Just as Hammer and the others were preparing to return to the city, Little Tree received distress signals from many people. All the people who sent the distress signals had been killed by someone called the Butcher. Among them, Hammer also saw his best friend, Shifu's distress call. There were too many people in need of help. Hammer and Star-Lord split into 2 groups. Hammer, accompanied by Stoneman Kord and the 2 mountain goats, set off on a journey. They came to a place of ice and snow, where a giant, skinny corpse lay on the ground. Shifu had one arm cut off. From Shifu, I learned that H.C. Anderson's next goal was a new Asgard on Earth.